Hello and welcome to another UCL Fantasy video. Today we're going to take a look at our Matchday 2 team selection. This week I am activating the wildcard chip, so we're basically planning the team for Matchday 2, 3, 5 and 6 because I'll be using the limitless chip in Matchday 4. But we're starting off with Matchday 1, taking a quick look at how it went for me. It was a bit of an average game week from my point of view. You can see just below me how I got on in terms of rank and points and stuff. So 78 points, 132,000th in the world. It was one of those ranks that it was one of those weeks where it was a bit iffy and kind of like a lot of players that I picked. For example, going for Mbappe instead of Julian Alvarez, going for Thuram instead of Galeno was a very big point swing, and it really cost me in total about 23 points. Going for Alvarez ended up with 11 points, Galeno on 19. Thuram obviously was quite unfortunate not to play. The same with DeMarco, who I also started with, and then subbed them both in. So lost a couple of points there, making those subs to the players on the bench. But realistically, it's one of those ones where hindsight's just a very fantastic thing. 23 points missed out on, and if I'd got those 23 points, I'd be on about 101 points right now, which would actually set me inside the top 2,000, which would have been an absolutely fantastic rank for match day 1. But again, like I said, you can't really do much about it. We just have to look forward to the future match days. It is only match day 1 at the end of the day, and there's plenty of time to come back from that. But the defence is really what saved me last week. Di Lorenzo, Rom, Cancelo, Henrich, all performing with some points, as well as Wellenreuther in goals. Bellingham, I changed the captaincy over from Haaland, who again was quite disappointing. My whole team was basically set up for a big front three, and all three of them, they did return, just not as much as you would want for those kind of players. But as I said, we're looking forward to match day 2 now, where I'll be using the wildcard. So if you've not seen the wildcard video that I put out a couple of days ago, it is still a similar team. That was my current draft at that time. Now there's been a couple of changes, but in goals it is still the same two goalkeepers. We're going for Sommer and Riznik. I still think it's probably the best combination you can go for right now. Riznik being a 4 million starting goalkeeper. Shakhtar Donetsk obviously aren't the best defensively, but they do have 2 fixtures against Antwerp, excluding match day 4 of course, because that's when the limitless will be. And I do think Riznik can definitely pick up some saves, and hopefully we can get a clean sheet from him as well. And of course Sommer, playing for Inter, who have a fantastic defence right now. I think he's fairly nailed on for me. I don't think I would be changing him. Maybe to, if I needed some budget, to someone like Ramiro, who's also 4 million for the Sociedad goalkeeper. But for now, I feel like Sommer's just a lot better in terms of quality, and he just easily is the best 4.5 million goalkeeper in the game. So for me, I'm more than happy to go with him. Looking at the defence now is where we have a couple of changes. We've actually kind of got basically a limitless looking defence with 3 of the top defenders in there, with Davies, Cancelo and Molina. I feel like Davies is a bit of he's going to be in basically every single person's limitless team, and with this wildcard this week, we're kind of wanting to at least keep up with those on the limitless, so that we can then use our limitless to overtake in a couple of weeks' time. But I think Davies is one of those players that I would consider downgraded to someone to like an Upamecano, if I'm needing budget. Cancelo, I can't see myself getting rid of him. I think Barca's fixtures, where it isn't the easiest fixture with Porto away this week, in future they've got the likes of Shakhtar next week, I believe, at home in match day 3, Antwerp again in match day 6, Porto at home in match day 5. So the fixtures just do look very, very good for Barcelona, and I'm not really interested in trying to get Cancelo in a couple of weeks' time. I feel like it's just going to be a bit of a struggle, especially with his price. So I thought I'm just going to start with him now. That way I don't have to worry about it in the future. Now I went for Molina as well. Someone I said in the wildcard video we might just have to give up on, because I think most people in the limitless this week will probably use him. And I feel like he was just too expensive, but I've managed to fit him in here. Again, he's someone that could be downgraded. The likes of Saliba I don't have in this team, which has left me with only 1 Arsenal player. I would like a few more than that, but I'm looking at this defence right now, and I'm not really preferring Saliba to any of them. Obviously Romagnoli, but he's an extra million to Romagnoli, so I am not able to afford that, but Molina just has a much better attacking potential than Saliba does, which is why he's there. But again, he is someone that could possibly downgrade as well. There's Golsons as well at 5 million, who I did consider and haven't ended up going for, but he could possibly come into the team again if I'm looking for some budget. You'll see when I look at the attackers and midfielders where the budget could be saved. DeMarco, again, someone that I don't actually think is that popular this week. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of drafts with people not having him. Again, like I said, with Inter's defence, they just look very, very good. And the fixtures look great for Inter as well, with Sociedad and Salzburg. And I'm not seeing any reason not to have him, to be honest. He did score, I think it was last weekend. I don't think it was the weekend just past, but yeah, he's in fantastic goal scoring form, and he's getting 3 assists so far this season as well. So I personally would struggle not to have him in my team. Then Romagnoli, I've changed from Dest, who I originally had in there. Again, I think he's a 4.5 million defender, which originally I assumed was injured. There was news that he had a broken nose and will probably miss matchday 2, but he played at the weekend with a mask on, so he should be fine. And he has played every single minute for Lazio so far this season, so you know he is nailed. And Lazio's fixtures are decent enough where you could hope for a couple clean sheets in there as well, and obviously you can hope for some ball recoveries as well in there. Next up, we're taking a look at the midfield, and again, it's a very, very solid midfield with Saka and Sané, who are probably going to be, again, 2 of the most popular players this week, whether you're on a limitless or not. Saka, just with the fixtures, looks fantastic. Obviously, did slightly limp off the pitch again at the weekend, so I feel like he is just an automatic switch to Odegaard and save 0.5 if something does come out about him not playing before the game. Again, I'm not really too bothered about which one of those you pick, but I think they both are on similar levels. They both did get a goal and an assist in matchday 1 as well, so they both have proven that they can get some goals in the Champions League. Sané as well, probably the second best, he is the second best Bayern player you can pick. Bayern with Copenhagen this week, and then Galatasaray next week with Copenhagen in game week 5 again, so I feel like you just have to triple up on the Bayern players. It just makes the most sense, especially with the form Bayern are in right now. I went for Jude Bellingham because I think he just is the best value player in the game. 7.5 mil this year. Napoli away is going to be a difficult fixture for them, but I think with the form Real Madrid are in, they can really beat anyone right now. And Bellingham basically is playing as like a second striker just behind Joselu, and now with Vinicius back as well, Real are looking even stronger. Bellingham did score as well again at the weekend, so for me, I'm just seeing no reason not to have him. Doesn't really matter on the fixtures. They could be playing Man City, and I probably would still have him in there as well. I went for Thuram again, giving him a second chance. Obviously, Arnautovic was the one to play over him, but he's now injured. That was a surprising start anyway. Thuram has played the majority of the games this season, so with Arnautovic out, I think it basically solidifies Thuram for starting in matchday 2, and that'll be alongside Lautaro Martinez, who scored 4 goals at the weekend. I think that was about 23 minutes as well, which was pretty interesting, but I'm going to go with Thuram, 6.5 million. Picking him over Galeno again this week. Galeno, I feel like, was maybe just a 1 week kind of masterclass. Maybe in a couple of weeks, he could be another decent option, but I feel like against Barcelona, you can't really go for him. And again, Thuram has been in good goal scoring form. I think he picked an assist at the weekend as well. He's a midfielder playing as a striker in Inter's team, and Inter just look fantastic right now. So, giving him a second chance, I feel like he could be quite good. And then we're going for Barrenetxea at 4.5 million, Real Sociedad's left winger. It does in the league seem to come off quite early, at about the 60th minute kind of. But he has shown that he can score some goals this season. He got a goal against Real Madrid a couple of weeks ago. And he isn't in like fantastic goal scoring form, but what do you expect from a 4.5 million player? You just really want someone who's going to play and possibly pick up some points. He did pick up 4 points in matchday 1 as well, with some ball recoveries and the clean sheet point in there as well. So I do think he's a good option. Someone again that I possibly could upgrade, like I said, maybe downgrading Molina, downgrading Davies, and then I can save myself about 2 million, and then I can upgrade Barrenetxea to or Baronetsia to a 6.5 million midfielder. But again, we'll see what happens with that. I'm not too fussed on it right now, and I'm quite happy with the current team. And finally, rounding off the wildcard squad, we're going for Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, and Take Kubo. Again, Kubo is one of those players where I possibly could look to upgrade. I had Højlund in my original wildcard draft, and again, like I said, possibly downgrading someone like Molina and Davies could allow that. I'm not too sure about having the two Real Sociedad attackers, but I mean, they are both like some of the cheapest you can get in their positions, so it's not really like a big worry. But again, it's going to be two players that possibly could blank. And then you just take them off for the players on the bench anyway, so I'm not really too bothered. I do feel like having the upgrades elsewhere is probably going to be more worth it than trying to upgrade someone like Kubo to Højlund. But I do not have any Man United players in this wildcard team, which could be a bit of an issue, but they aren't looking fantastic right now, United. They do have some very, very good fixtures. However, if I was going to have one of them, it would be Bruno Fernandes, and I'm just seeing no way of getting him in, to be honest. He's way too expensive for a wildcard team, and right now I'm happy with the rest of the teams. The other two strikers, we've got our two captaincies for both days. We've got Harry Kane, again, probably the number one pick for match day 2. He's playing against Copenhagen, and he has an unreal amount of goals so far for Bayern this season, and he is going to be the captaincy on day 1. I doubt I'm going to need the Haaland captaincy on day 2 because I feel like we're going to struggle not to see Kane score a goal or two, but Haaland's always there as a backup. He did score 4 against Leipzig in the Champions League last season, so we're hoping for some more of that again this week. So Kane's going to be the captaincy for day 1, and Haaland's going to be the captaincy for day 2. So obviously we spoke about the possibilities of downgrading a couple of players. This is kind of what the transfers would look like if I was to do that. Downgrading Davies to Upamecano would save about $1 million. Molina to Saliba would save 0.5. And then obviously Saka to Odegaard would save 0.5 as well, which would leave you 2 million to upgrade Kubo to someone like Højlund. There is obviously the possibilities of like Alvarez as well, who does look very, very good. But I feel like I'll be more inclined to go with Højlund just to cover the United like attack basically. 7 million, I do think Højlund could do very well, and again he could be. I don't think he has scored for United officially yet. But again, games like Galatasaray are in decent form, but you can't really compare the Turkish league too much to the Champions League. But obviously they're going to have Copenhagen and stuff in this group where Højlund's going to have lots of chances to do quite well. So that is a possibility for me. We do still have at least 36 hours or so until the deadline. So can always look to do that again. If you are looking to find the final match day team selection, you'll find it over on my Twitter, which is up here anyway. So make sure you follow in there. And then I'll post that about an hour before the deadline tomorrow. Let me know in the comments the kind of thing you're going to be doing for match day 2. Are you using a limitless? Are you using a wild card? Or are you not using any chip, which would be interesting, but I would definitely like to see that. Let me know what kind of transfers you're making, and let me know how you got on in match day 1 as well. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and good luck to everyone for match day 2, and I'll see you all in the next video.